Morning, everybody. Welcome to Sunday. Well, as you can see behind me, things are moving forward here. We got Rebecca and I were out here yesterday, and we managed to get the house wrapped up, the seams taped on the insulation panels that were up there. So we're actually today. I'm actually starting to put finished siding on the cabin. So cabin 1 and cabin 3 are basically in the same state in that they're both taped up and wrapped with house wrap. So both are ready to move on, and we got a pattern now of about 4 or 5 days that are going to be absolutely beautiful. So a little warm, but no rain, so there shouldn't be anything hindering my progress, and we're kind of looking forward to that. So let me give you a walk around. Let me show you what happened this weekend and some of the smaller things that really Rebecca was doing that really is going to help these cabins out. Okay, so first off, this house wrap here, it is not broken anywhere around the bottom portion of it, at least the bottom 9 feet. Once I got up here into this peak of this gable here, the 9 foot, cut off. So there is a little bit of seam up there, which is taped up and everything's covered up. And I did have to cut about 1 foot off the bottom here. So it worked out great. Rebecca was out here helping me out, and it really went off without a hit. So one of the things that Rebecca is working on, really kind of a key part of kind of closing this thing in here. Let me see if I can get up here and kind of show you. So these, on the other side of these freeze boards here, I mean, goes into the rafter space inside the cabin. And let me climb up this ladder here. So Rebecca's been using this spray foam stuff to fill these gaps and these boards up here. So it is absolutely messy and disgusting work. She had insulation in her hair yesterday. I mean, the products work great, and it goes on just fine, but it's, you're never going to see this. This is all going to be blocked up, but to keeping the for air intrusion and things like that, the gaps around these freeze blocks has to be filled. And that's what she's been working on. So it is, up and down the ladder. And that stuff is not the easiest stuff to use or manage. And it just makes a mess. So she's been out here, tackling that, and it's great. So cabin 3 is done, and she's halfway done here with cabin 1. So the first part of this project I'm going to do is the back portion. I want to get the back parts done because that's going to use my longest boards that I have up there, and those are those 12 footers that I have. So I've got the first haul of boards here. So there is, I think, about 15 boards on there. So that's about 150 inches across. That should cover the back side of this cabin. So obviously I'm in management mode here when it comes to what lumber I'm using and things like that. I could always mill more, but I do need to let that stuff dry. Speaking of being dried, I threw my moisture meter on most of these boards as I brought them down, and a lot of the other stuff. Everything is around 8.5 to 9.5% moisture, which is fantastic. So definitely suitable for putting up on the cabin and things like that. So, and this is board and batten. So even if this was, absolutely green wood, I really wouldn't have a problem with it. Board and batten was kind of made for this, or made for green lumber. So let me get set up. We got some things I got to organize a little bit here, and then we're going to get to getting this stuff installed. All right, gang, as Rebecca is getting up down the ladder there, doing the last little bit of the insulation up there. Backside looking pretty good. Everything went off without a hitch. I have a little gap here. That's probably my biggest one, but you know, not really concerned with it. I've got about a 1/2 inch here at the end, which will simply be covered. I've got a trim piece there for the corner. Everything is nailed in as best we can get it. Nails lined up pretty well. If you're into, you know, straight nail lines, that all went off pretty well. I left a 1-inch overhang over the bottom here. That is in order to facilitate when I put the plywood up underneath it, it's all going to be concealed. So it backside looking fantastic. So I think I'm going to start moving on, start working down this side now, and we'll see how that goes. All right, gang, well, we are about 3:30 in the afternoon here, and this side just went together extremely well. Super happy with it. I love the pattern on the boards where you can tell that the board that's next to the next board is from the same log. There's so much similarity with the knotting and things like that. It is really a good looking feature of this. Now, Rebecca's painting these a semi-transparent stain, and so you should be able to see all that character that's in all those boards. So we'll see how it turns out. That's her bailiwick, and I stay out of her stuff. So yeah, so here, even on the end, really a good finish. As far as the gap, again, only about, I don't even say it, maybe 3/8, not even a 1/2 inch, but really consistent, you know. And I did know, I wasn't out here with a level, I wasn't checking it for plumb, I was just kind of eyeballing it. And those boards, even though some of them they do have a little dip in them occasionally. Again, not bigger than 1/4 of an inch of a gap in between them. Not nearly that. So yeah, couldn't be happier with it. So I've got some left on the stack here, so I'm going to actually start working on the other side, and we'll see how far we get. All right, gang, there it is. Side 3 on cabin 1, all finished. That really, again, no issues. Everything went just fine, and it lined up. It was slightly off. I got a 1/4 inch like reveal at the bottom, and then about a 1/2 inch difference there at the top. But yeah, we'll cover that with a trim. You'll never even know that's there like that. So, but the boards look absolutely beautiful. And yeah, this was some of that last stuff that I milled, making those wide boards, and the stuff looks fantastic. So I got three sides on cabin 1 done. The front, obviously, here you can see there behind me there, the front's got to be done. But out of the 12-foot pieces that were taken off of the back and cut those down, those pieces are right here. So those are actually going to be used to cover the front, so I don't really have to allocate any extra boards up on the hill to come down for the front of the cabin. So fantastic. I was just up counting boards. Looks like I'm not going to have any problem with wide boards for cabin 3. Knock on wood, I guess. We'll find out tomorrow. That's going to be on the agenda for tomorrow. It's going to be cabin 3. We're going to get the siding up just like this for cabin 3 tomorrow. And then I think from there I'm going to actually mount my sub panels. Once the sub panels are in, I can really kind of finish the electric here, especially on cabin 1, because everything, all the wires just about pulled through. So yeah, just a bunch of those little things like that, and then I got to figure out the plumbing. I gotta work on that a little bit. So certainly no shortage of things to get done. So all right, guys, that's it for today. It was humid, it was hot as hell, and we're in for a lot of that this week. So good news, we're getting skinny. Bad news is, well, I go through 2-3 shirts a day, but that's how it is. Listen, guys, I appreciate you hanging out as always. We'll see you on the next one.